Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Credit Business Growth Show. And guys, listen, today I got a special guest for you. His name is Vincent from Freedom Automations, and Vincent's going to talk all about automations today. And I know you guys, you always wonder, you're always curious about what is automation? How can it work for my credit restoration company? How can it work for my tax company? How can it work for my company? Well, we got an expert here today, and Vince is going to tell you all about that. And Vincent, how you doing today, my man?
Doing great. How about yourself?
All right, good. So Vincent, tell us a little bit, first of all, let's start off by telling us, what is Freedom Automation? What do you guys do at Freedom Automation? Tell me a little bit about that first.
Yep. So Freedom Automation is pretty much, a business automation that we aim to give businesses their time back by automating different processes. We started the company 3 years ago. I've been doing automations for 5 years so far. And I just retired from the military, doing 13 years. So, one of our main goals for us was how can we get some time back, right? Instead of just working all the time. So, we figure, hey, if we can do it for ourselves, we can do it for other companies as well, which is, what we all aim to do. Just have some time for ourselves and, let the business maybe not run itself completely, but be as automated as possible to give us the time that we need to spend time with our families or do activities and things like that.
Right. So how did you get into automations? Like, how did you start? Like, what made you decide, hey, I want to do automations? And like, how did you learn this? Like, how did you learn this whole thing?
So pretty much it was because of our businesses. We needed to automate our process, and I just really enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot, and the people that talk to me in the one-on-ones on the calls, they kind of see that I'm really into it. I really enjoy automating businesses, and I like to problem solve a lot. You start with our businesses, and from there, it just kind of grew to something I'm actually very passionate about. So it just became this big thing, and that's how we, in a sense, Freedom Automations was created out of just an enjoyment.
Now, were you automating like your own business, or how did you start? Like, did somebody come to you and say, Vincent, can you automate this for me? Or did you start on your own?
We started on our own, yes, on our own businesses. There was, of course, there's always people out there that say they can automate your business. We were one of those that we just kind of, at the beginning, of course, a long time ago, we kind of fell into somebody else, of course, like everybody else does, and it wasn't what I expected, right? So I was like, dude, I can do better than this. And we can automate. It seems like we're still missing a lot, right? Just begin with our own companies. And then later on, people were like, hey, how is this like working for you? I was like, this is great. This is what I do. And they were like, can you do it for me? I'm like, yeah, sure. I mean, I enjoy it. I like it. So, that's how it kind of grew into just helping other people. And even to now, sometimes people post stuff in different groups and they need help. If I'm working here, I just be like, hey man, here's my Zoom link, hop on and I'll help you out, the best I can.
Nice. Yeah. You guys, what's the name of your group? What's the name of your group on Facebook?
Grow Your Business with Leads and Automation.
That's right. Yeah. You guys give a lot of information out there in that group. So if you guys interested in a group, make sure you check it out on Facebook. So Vincent, there's a lot of new credit repair companies. There's a lot of current credit repair companies and, more experienced credit repair companies. And a lot of them don't have automation, right? Like they out of all the customers that we have in the client dispute manager, I would say a third of them are using Zapier. So that means the remaining of them, they're not aware of automation. They don't know what it is, right? So can you tell us what exactly, well, I got two questions. What is automation? And you hear the word workflow a lot. What is automation and workflow the same, or are they separate?
Got it. All right. So pretty much automations, when people, it can be many things. When you Google it, if you Google automations, you'll see like mechanics and things like that, right? All the stuff that goes with it. For business automations, it's just business process automations. That's usually what people refer to it. It's just about automating your business process, right? And pretty much it's streamlining everything that you possibly can to free up your time and free up your employees' time, right? That's the main goal of the whole automation process of your business. So can you repeat the second question?
Yeah. So you got automation and then you got workflow.
Yep. So workflow kind of falls into the automations. So the workflow is pretty much a process, right? It can be within the automations itself, or it can be, it can be outside. It depends how you're looking at it. Within the automations itself, for example, if you're talking about Active Campaign, right? Active Campaign has workflows inside the automations, right? And then outside of it, you can also refer to as a workflow because you're automating Calendly, for example, through Zapier to Active Campaign, right? So outside of that, it can also be considered a big workflow, right? But usually when people see workflows, they see it inside of the actual systems, right? So either Active Campaign or, other CRMs are out there which have workflows inside of them. So sometimes people get confused and think, hey, workflow is just this. But it's the big thing, can also be considered a big workflow.
Okay. Process. So you've automated for a lot of client dispute manager customers, right? Using a client dispute manager. And as you know, we've added like quite a few Zaps, triggers and actions inside of Zapier. I know you were happy for that. So can you give us an example of a workflow? Let's use the client dispute manager software. Just give us an example of one workflow you did for one of our customers in the client dispute manager.
Okay, so pretty much I'll give you an example, the easiest workflow to create, that anybody can really do that's listening, or, let's say you have a calendar outside the system, right? For example, now like Calendly, Acuity, any of those calendars, right? You can pretty much use that, connect it with Zapier, and then send that event, which is the calendar being booked, right, to Zapier. Zapier will send it to, CDM, and it will create the opportunity, the client, the lead, whatever you want to call it in your system, right? And you can add from there, that can be considered workflow, right? And then inside of CDM, of course, you have your own workflows per se, and you can go from there. But I think, when it comes to that specific workflow, businesses don't have to have a paid account, right? So that's the awesome thing about that. If all you're trying to do is just grab information from an appointment, it can be Facebook as well, Facebook bookings. It can be Facebook, Calendly, Acuity, right? Yeah. Take your free account, send it to CDM, free, right? Your system does it for free, and it just creates an opportunity for you, right? So now you have a booked appointment, and the lead or client, or whatever it is at that point, is already in the software. So from there you can just do whatever you need to without having to type it in yourself. So you pretty much, that save time, right? Which is the main goal of everything.
And you do this for businesses all the time?
Yes.
So you can just set up this type of system and save them a lot of time. You can streamline these workflows, put these workflows together for credit repair companies.
Correct. Yeah. So it can be anything. It's just not appointments. It can be anything you can think of, right? If you can grab information like status change, which is the biggest thing, change the status to do something else on somewhere else, whether it's Active Campaign or within a CRM itself, right? You streamline it and make it happen based on the different things that you want to do for your business.
Got it. Okay, so this is good because there's a lot of people, like I said before, there's a lot of people out there, and we try, Vincent, we try to educate our customers on using the Zapier, using the automation and the client dispute manager, but a lot of them are just confused. They don't know how to do it. They don't know who to go to for the automation, but now they do. They have a source right now, right? They have a source now. But why would you think that automations will be such a big thing, or why would it be so helpful to credit repair companies? Like, what will it do for them exactly?
Got it. So going back a little bit from what you said right now, I think one of the biggest things when it comes to automations, and sometimes there's a bad name to it per se. When people hear, they're like, oh, what is that? Or they're like, oh, automations, right? It's because there's two different things, right? There is an automations process and there's a right automation process, right? What works for one business might not work for another business, right? Just because you have Active Campaign and you have one email sequence doesn't mean it's a bad system, right? It just means you don't have it set up the way you need to be successful for your business, right? So I think one of the biggest things is that people, get Acuity, get all these different things, but they just don't have the knowledge or, don't have the time to learn how to connect all these systems together, right, to make it work. So, that's why the biggest things that I see when it comes to automations in other businesses.
Okay, I got you. Do you guys do some people try to do these automations on their own? Do you guys do any type of audits? Like, say, for example, I tried to set these automations up on my own. if I was to hire you, do you guys come in and say, okay, hey, Mark, let me see what you have already. Let me see if we can fix what you have already. Maybe you're connecting to the wrong zaps. Like maybe you're not putting this in right. Maybe you're not putting that in right. That's probably why your leads are not coming. Do you guys offer that type of service?
Yeah. So when we do automations, we try to focus on our software or CRM because everything's in one place. So some people pay for Calendly, some people pay for Active Campaign, some people pay for all these different platforms. They'll take it together to create something, right? For us, our software has everything in one place, right? So you don't need to be paying for all these different things, right? Everything's in one place and it's just a one price kind of thing. So when it comes to that, right, it helps a lot of businesses, at least for us, because when someone comes to me, let's say you sign up, right? And we do a couple meetings. So the first meeting, I don't even talk about my software. I'll talk about you, your business. What do you need? What is your process? What do we need to do to connect these different things that we have to connect? Because of course we always need Zapier. We're always going to need, your end with CDM, right? At the end. So we have to connect those things together. And one of the things that I do is I do an audit with your business. So, and the cool thing about us, all in automations, we do marketing as well. So we have all the knowledge that we put into that business to say, hey, if they don't know, this is what I know you need based on everything that I do, right? And if they know what they want, they tell me what they want and I set up that way. But yes, we do an audit. We go to their website and I'm like, okay, what do we have on your website? What's going on here? Yeah. We see all kinds of websites, of course. What kind of forms do we have? What kind of calendars do we have? And when we set up our system, we connect our forms in there. We connect our calendars in there. We connect everything we possibly can, or chat widget, everything, to just audit everything. And then, we create all these apps for people too at the same time. So like we're business focused. So like, if you go to my website, for example, you can't just pay and get the software. Right. There's a reason for it, right? We want to talk to the business owner. We want to see, hey, what do you need? Because a lot of businesses that come to us, they're in different places. Some people just like, hey, I just quit my job and I'm starting, and some people are not. And I'm like, okay, you need automations and things like that, right? And they're like, okay, how do you plan to bring leads into the system? How do you plan to, they're like, well, I don't know. I don't have marketing, that means to do marketing or that means to do organic traffic right now. Then in a sense, they really don't need automations. Then you don't need us right now at this moment in your business, right? You need to find, and we give them advice, there's these tools that you can use that you can automate some of your business right now as you kind of grow that are free, right? That you can use. And then when you're ready, you want to bring leads in and you want to do the rest of the things the funnels, you want to do funnel, either marketing, organic, right? Then come to us and we'll help you automate all of that stuff. But, not everybody needs to have this big, crazy setup at the beginning. Right. Because not everybody's there. You don't rush to failure, right? You take the steps that you need based on what you can or can't afford in the big scheme of things.
That's absolutely right. During while you're working with a customer and you're doing this audit, what are some of the common mistakes that you see when you're working with a customer for the first time? What are some of the common mistakes that you see?
So honestly, not tell you lies. Sometimes we go to the website and I'm like, okay, there's a form here. So this form, what does it do for you? And they're like, honestly, I don't know. I'm like, so someone fills this form, like what happens? You get an email, you get a text, and you get a notification. A lot of people don't know what happens with their forms. It's just like they paid somebody to create a website and they're just hoping for the best. Right. And that's one thing that at least we pride ourselves on. We try to educate people and be like, hey, you should be receiving something, and what do you have set up here? And it comes down to the same thing, right? Sometimes people paid for these services, but there's no follow on what happened. You pay, they do whatever they think they're supposed to do and then leave. And then you're still paying for that service, right? Because you're connecting all these things together, but you got no support. For us, it's like, you can come to me tomorrow and say, hey, my birthday's in 2 weeks. Can I get a quick funnel, for that? And we'll create that for you. We'll help you automate, the process and get leads and things like that.
Right. You guys build funnels?
Yep.
You build like click funnels type funnels?
Yep. Our system has funnels, websites, forms, surveys, calendar, memberships. You can create courses and things like that. So everything's in one place. So we help businesses with everything we can within the software.
Oh, okay. You have like a marketing software?
Yes.
Okay. I got you. I didn't know you do funnels. Okay. That's for another.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our biggest thing. Like I said, for holidays or especially holidays coming up, right? People want to do the promotions, or people just want to give something for free, like an ebook, like a lead magnet, right? A tripwire.
Right.
They're paying actual core sales, right? They want to create a funnel for that. We help them with all that because we know that business owners don't know how to build funnels unless you get a template and you kind of customize it a little bit, right? It's kind of hard for business owners to just come and be like, do everything, right?
Yeah. Quick question. Have you ever thought about taking everything you know and everything you've learned when it comes to improving a credit score? Have you ever thought about taking that and turning it into a part-time job or a full-time job helping others improve their credit score? Well, the answer is yes. You definitely come to the right place. And here's the reason why. Because right now there's 100 million consumers right now in the US with bad credit. And guess what? They need your help because see, you've already did the studying. You've already improved your own credit. You've already went to the seminars, read the books, took the courses. So why not take that and turn it into an opportunity, right? This is a very busy, a big, and a very rewarding business where you can help others improve their credit score and you can start absolutely part-time. So here's the good thing. It's a low learning curve. It's a low startup cost, right? You can work from your home. You can travel anywhere you want. You can work from the plane. You can work from the beach. It's just a fantastic job. And when I first started in the business, I pretty much did the same thing, right? You know, I worked directly from my kitchen table and I worked part-time. So, hey, listen, I put together this training and I'm going to show you right now. I put together this training right here. It's a 30-day step-by-step email course teaching you how to start and run a credit repair business step-by-step. Okay. And I put together this training strictly for you because there's no reason why you should waste all of your skills that you have, right? When you can help others improve their credit score and also turn it into a part-time job or even a full-time job. And the class is absolutely free. It's a step-by-step class. You get an email every single day teaching you step-by-step on how to start, run, and grow a successful credit repair business. And all you have to do right now, this is all you got to do, very simple. Click on the link below this video, come to this page right here, put in your email address, your name, and your phone number, and click join the email mastery class, okay? And not only in this class, I'm also going to give you some letters. I'm going to give you some resources about the different states and what the states require for each credit repair business. I'm not going to leave you hanging by yourself. I'm going to take you all the way through, step by step, all the way through the course. And all you got to do is click the link below this video and the course is absolutely free. Listen, it's time to be your own boss. It's time. It's time, guys. It's time to break away and have the freedom that you really, really, really want. Right? You can set your own schedule. You can work anywhere in the world that you want. You can travel anywhere you want. You're your own boss. You don't have to worry about anybody telling you what to do. You can start part-time until you become successful and you get enough customers, and then you can become full-time. Click the link below, guys. I'm telling you, it's a well worth industry.
You can't be the goalie, the forward, the middle, right? The defense. You have to pick what you're going to do. So you need help with everything else. So we give all the support that we can within our system. They can book a one-on-one with me at any time to either one, talk about ideas, or two, something that they want built. You know, we just talk about hey, this is what I can do for you, and this is what I can't do for you, right? If I can't do something for you, you know, I'm sorry, I can't do it. But if the software is possible, or if it's possible through Zapier, we got you, right? We're gonna do it for you. But that's the biggest thing, you know. And one of the things that we see, you know, like some of the mistakes that people make when it comes to the automations is like they just automate it because they heard of it or for the sake of it. Right? They don't see, okay, so like one of the biggest things that we ask people is like, why do you need automations? Like, why do you think you need them? And they just don't know, right? So that's one of the biggest mistakes. You need to know why you need it for your business, because it's a business process, right? It's for your business. How is your business gonna get their time back and not do little things that you don't have to do, right? What can you automate, you know, through one platform or different platforms to make your life easier, not just for you, right, but for your employees. So not having a plan just makes chaotic automations. That's why, you know, when sometimes people have salty when it comes to automations, and they're like, that didn't work for me because you didn't have the right plan, right? You kind of came to somebody and said, hey, I want automations, and they said, here's this quick thing that I do for everybody. not customized to you, you know, and then it doesn't work, you know, it just doesn't work like that. So, and then also another thing that people do is like they try to automate everything at once. It's not possible. Your business doesn't go from 0 to 100. Your business grows. And as the business grows, different problems arise.
Right.
Problems, you need solutions, right? So even if you paid someone to do the automations, you know, through ActiveCampaign or Zapier or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter, right? What kind of software? You know what happens when you grow? What happens when you need the next thing? You have to pay them again. You have to plus paying the software, right? What is the cost that you have to pay for all these things? So that's a lot of issues that we see with our client, with people that come to us and talk to us about automations.
Got it. What would you say? Let's see. What are some of the most, what are some of the most requested, I guess, or the different automations that you see that you guys are applying for credit repair companies? Some of the different ones or popular ones, or the ones that a lot of credit repair companies want that you guys can do.
So for leads, you know, once they come in, what kind of setups do they want, right? Do they want emails? What kind of nurturing sequences do they want to nurture the leads that come in, right? Different funnels. The biggest things that we do, like I said, is how do we set up the first campaign, right? How do you nurture these leads? The different funnels is that one of the biggest things. You know, people don't understand funnels. They're like, hey, I want a funnel. Okay, how are you going to use it? They're like, I don't know. Someone was told I need a funnel. It doesn't. You can have a funnel. I can build you a funnel, but it's just going to sit there unless you do something with it. Whether it's promoted through social media platforms, right, to get organic traffic, or you have to do paid advertisement. The funnel has to go somewhere for people to look at it and, you know, fill that information. So funnels is one of the biggest things that we see. And then for the clients, right, one of the biggest things that we see to automate is different notifications, right? You know, if they're missing documents, or if their credit monitoring, you know, failed because the payment and things like that, I need to update that stuff, right? Yeah. A quick status change on the software, you know, and then we'll automate it in our side. So all you have to do in CDM is change the status, and then our automations will kick off with different things to let the client know, hey, we need this updated.
Okay.
So it kind of helps with the customer service, which is, you know, clients, when you sign up a client, you have to keep touch with them, or they're like, hey, what's going on? It's been 2 months. I haven't heard anything, right? We also help with that. We have nurturing sequence that goes out to clients, emails that go out once a week, to just nurture them as they kind of stay through the process and let them know, hey, I'm here, you know?
I do have a question for you. This is on the marketing side. And I know your wife, she handles most of that part, right? She handles that, or you do the marketing too?
We both do.
All right. This is another question. I mean, this comes up. It has something to do with automation and ActiveCampaign, nurturing drip sequences. Do you guys write email copy for nurturing campaigns?
Yes, we do.
For the credit repair companies.
For credit repair companies. For any business. We custom write a copy for any business. Now, most of our clients, of course, are credit repair companies, but we also have different other companies, and we custom write based on their business. We aim for 1.5 years of content for each business. So like, you know, they're going to be there for a while.
I mean, that's a big barrier for a lot of people, not just credit repair companies, but business in general. Writing the email content to nurture a lead. Someone who doesn't sign up right away, you want to nurture that lead, right, to a client. What do I say? You know, what kind of sequence do I have? What am I saying, you know, with every email to nudge them a little bit further to a yes? And you guys do write that type of content.
Yep. We have a whole 1.5 years of content in there. We check for a lot of things. We check for click rate. We check for open rate on emails. What's working, what's not working, what can we change, what can we make better
nice.
In our system. But, you know, we have everything set up for different businesses. There's a lot of things we look at. There's always a booking calendar in every single email that goes out. If it's a nurturing for a lead, he has a calendar 100% of the time. If it's for clients, if clients says, hey, you know, I want to give my clients the options to book anytime, we'll add the calendar in there we'll make another calendar just for your client, so they can just book on that calendar. You only, of course, you'll get notifications when someone books. So it's pretty awesome.
So this is for anyone that's new in the industry, and I'm looking at you. That's why I'm looking directly in the camera. This is for you new people. If you're brand new, you're looking for an automation, I'm going to ask my man right here, Vincent, what type of automations do he recommend, or automation does he recommend for brand newbies? You know, when they're really new, Vince, they don't have a lot of customers. They may have 1 or 2 customers. Should they contact you for automation, or should they wait until they build up their base?
So this is like, if you're new to the industry, everyone's at different levels. You know, some people are funding, some people don't, some people quit their jobs, some people are just starting out. I think the first and foremost thing for any business, it doesn't matter what it is, right? Look at what software you have. CDM. What can CDM automate for you? You know, start there, right? If you don't even know what CDM offers, then you shouldn't even go look out yet. Look inside the actual software and see, hey, what can it do for me? Can, you know, the payment, anything else that goes in there, right? What can I automate within my software of CDM, right? That's first thing, because you're paying for it, right? Use everything you can out of it. You know, that's the first thing I think. The second thing I tell people is Zapier, right? Zapier has 100 apps that are free. You don't have to pay for them. Unless you're trying to do something crazy, right? You need to do different steps and things like that, then you have to pay. But for the different things, little things you need to do, like I said, the calendar is an example, right? A lead from Facebook going into CDM, free, right? 100 leads can go in there for free. Now, if of course it's more than 100, you know, you either got to pay or you just got to make another Zapier account. And then, you know, if you don't have the means to do it, work the system, create different accounts and just use what you can out of it, right? But, you know, if you have the means to pay for it, hey, pay for it. You know, it's not that expensive, but we know everything adds up, right? $24 times 20 is a lot of money, all right? The next thing is the Facebook. And again, here's another thing to do for a business, right? I go into everybody's Facebook page and I audit that too, because I'm like, hey, what's going on here? Another thing that people don't realize is that Facebook, you can have pre-qualified questions on your Facebook page with already automated answers, right? So when someone goes to your page, you know, now the way Facebook set up, right? You can't go to a page and it pops up, you know, like it used to, and you used to just type it in. Now it's different, right? You go to someone's page, there's no pop-up. So unless they click on the message me and type in something, right, they're not going to see that. So the automated Facebook, right, on the left side, there's going to be pre-qualifying questions that you can ask. And when they click on that, right, they get an automated answer back for free. It's part of Facebook, right? And that creates just in that sense, that becomes a lead, because, right, you can talk to them back and forth, whether they booked an appointment or not. You open a conversation, right? They open a conversation with you. So that's another free tool that a lot of people, believe it or not, that we see don't know about, right? And it's pretty easy to automate that. Another thing that it can do is, you know, if you can't afford Calendly or you can't afford Acuity, Facebook has its own scheduler inside of Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. You can use that. It's free. It's part of Facebook, right? Another thing is, I know our system has chat widget, so we embed that into websites and things like that and funnels, you know, to create more leads. Facebook does the same thing. Facebook, just like the chat bubble that you see on Facebook, there's a link. Everybody has a link. People don't know this. There's a link in the back end on your page on settings that you can go in, copy that link or the code, post it on your website, and it's going to populate on the bottom right or whatever you put it, right? And when they click on that, you can also automate some responses on that chat. A lot of people don't know that. You know, it just takes like either Google a little bit, you know, and try to figure out yourself, or find somebody that does it, right? Another thing will be a Canva. Of course, Canva, you know, there's a paid version, but there's a free version.
Yeah.
What can you do with that? You can create different canvases, different tips for credit repair, different tips for any business. And what can you do with that? You can go in the back end of Facebook again and just schedule all those things for free. It just takes time, right? You either pay or you get your time. You got to do one or the other, as this takes time. But you can create the canvas, go on the back end of Facebook and schedule for the week, for the month, whatever you want to. And right, those posts just kick out automatically. You know, that's a lot of things that we tell people too. So there's so many tools that you have out there, you know, that you can do to begin with as a new business with you know, taking care of your budget, you know, using the money for what you need it to. It's just a matter of, you don't know what you don't know, right? That's the way I see it. But yeah, that's the, you know, one of the biggest tools that you have out there to for your business.
Nice. And as far as advice, is there any like advice you want to give to new business owners or startups or experienced business owner which knows nothing about automation, or are they struggling on the automation part? Are they struggling on the marketing part? Is there any advice that you would like to give them?
For automations or just in general?
Just in general. You can tie in automations with it too, if you want.
Got it. I think that the biggest thing is like, nothing's ever going to be 100%. Like I said from the beginning. So don't focus on having everything perfect before you start running your business, right? So you don't need to be 100% to start your business. You can be 50, you can be 70, you can be 80, right? You can start your business. You don't have to wait for a specific date, to start doing credit repair or to start the business that you want to do. Start small, right? You're always going to start, 5 clients, 10 clients, right? Get as many clients as you can for your business. Try to do that, right? Get the money coming in, right? Get some stream of income coming in, and then focus, of course, organic traffic for leads, right? It takes a little bit of time, but start posting on your page. A lot of people don't post on your page, right? The biggest things and I'll go more a little bit in marketing. I'm really into marketing too, but for the marketing portion, right? Worry about marketing your business, right? Don't worry if you get no likes on your page. Don't worry no one says comments. Don't worry about any of that. Build history on your page, right? If I go tomorrow to someone's page and they created a page 2 years ago, but I scroll 2 times and I'm at the bottom, it's almost like you created that thing yesterday.
Right.
Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged for stuff like that, right? Post what you can, and have a good time doing it. Of course, be funny, whatever it is. Just remember, right? You can start at any point. Like, you don't have to be 100% to start a business. You don't have to automate everything at the beginning. Follow the steps that I told you, the free things that I told you about. Worry about posting on your page, start growing that traffic, and a little bit into ads, right? You can always do brand awareness ads to it, just start growing your page, get some page likes, get the comments on your posts, right? You can start there, $5 a day. That's $150 a month, right? You don't have to have a big budget to start ads. You got to start somewhere, start where you can. Don't let that discourage you from starting.
All right. Interesting. Do you have anything that you want to show us? Is there anything you want to share your screen on or no? You don't have to. You don't have to. I'm just wondering, curious. Yeah. Is there anything you want to show? If not, it's okay.
No, I don't have anything, at least prepared for.
All right. No problem. So as we wrap up, I got one more question for you. And then I'm going to ask you, I have this new thing now I just created. It's called the book round. It's called the book round. That's what it's called. And I'm going to ask you about that in a few minutes. So lastly, what would you say makes your company different than any other company out there that does automation?
I think one of the biggest things, we're really hands-on with the clients, like I was talking about, right? We care about our clients and we want it to be successful. And, whether it's through paid marketing, organic marketing, I help you the best I can. If the tool is there, if you come to me for a funnel, I'll give you a funnel. If you come to me for a form, I'll give you a form. If you want an affiliate funnel, we got affiliate funnels. Like we really aim to be successful with our clients. We don't just like sign you up and be like, hey, here's software, you're paying monthly for the software. We do a big audit of everything, not just your website, not just your Facebook, but everything you possibly have. I look into it and I'm like, hey, how can we automate this? Or are you really paying for all these things for no reason? What can you cancel if you come with us? And one of the biggest things, like I said, right, you can't go to a website and you can't just pay, right? You have to schedule an appointment with us. And, we want to know if you're a good fit, right? Do you really need automations? Are we a good fit? We don't want people to pay us and then 2 months later be like, dude, I'm in the hole right now. I can't afford any of this. We don't want that. We want people to be successful, right? So if you come to us and we think like, hey, you're not ready, we'll point you to the right directions and be like, hey, you should start here, and come back when you're ready, if you want to come back with us. And 2, we want to make sure that people have a clear understanding, right? Automations is not a magic pill that you're going to swallow and just like, my business is amazing, right? It's just going to streamline everything to take you from being hands-on in your business and automate everything we possibly can as we kind of grow your business, right? So just because I have an audit with the business today doesn't mean I have to have an audit 2 months from now, 3 months from now, right? People have the freedom to book an appointment with us at any time. So I think that's different than other people that I've seen. And the other thing is like everything's in-house, right? One of the biggest things that we see is a lot of outsourcing from other countries, which is fine, but we've seen like there's a lot of issues that happen sometimes that, for example, if it was me, I wouldn't be able to fix, right? That means I have to wait on somebody else to fix your stuff. For us, like all of our team is in-house, and like I'm the main head of the company per se. So like I'm pretty deep into automation, so I'm like the main one that oversees everything. So like if there's any issue, like we fix it right there on the spot. There's no like waiting, for tomorrow. Nice. And if you can't book, we have an open communication. Send us a quick message on our portal. Every single employee sees it because of automations, right? And then we'll get with you right there on the spot, an hour from there or that same day at a point that we're opened. to meet with you and fix whatever issue is going on. So we do a lot of like, helping the clients.
Okay. Well, support is like number one.
Yeah.
And I've heard horror stories about other automation companies doing them wrong, locking them up, meaning locking them into certain agreements. They can't get out. They don't have no control over their zaps. I've heard a lot of horror stories about that. People even YouTube videos about it. So that's why I wanted to, know like, how are you guys different from some of these other automators? And support is the key to any type of customer base. Okay, cool.
I think one thing I forgot, and I think it's the biggest one for me, honestly. Our system is, I like to call it turnkey system, because like I said, I had a couple of meetings with the business owners based on their business, right? And when I say, hey, here's the automations, I mean like, here's the automations. That means all you have to worry about is talking to people, where the appointments are at, right? Where's my contacts at, and where's my calendar at? Like, no business from us ever has to touch a funnel, or ever has to touch a workflow, or ever has to touch Zapier. We do everything for you, literally, right? So all they have to do is focus on their business, which is my main goal as a business owner, right? For Freedom Automations, I want business owners to not worry about what's going on in the back end at all. I want them to worry about what's going on the front end, which is lead client. That is it. So that's like one of the biggest things for us that I take a lot of pride on, that we focus on.
Nice. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and get into this. We're wrapping it up, and let's go ahead and get into this book round really quick. The book round basically means, like, I'm into really books, right? I love reading books, Vincent. I believe books is like the key to our education if we act on it, right? So this is something new. You're the first guest that I'm starting this with. So every guest that I go through, I want to know, what book have you read recently or in the past that you remember that really helped you, help your business, or some book that you saw that you say, oh man, I got to get that book, or whatever the case may be. Anything you can think of off the top of your head?
So this is nothing related to automations at all?
No, it's just life, business, anything.
I think The Alchemist.
The Alchemist?
Yeah. The Alchemist is a book that I read that really changed my perspective on a lot of things. And I think it helped me grow a lot, as a young man. So that book is by far my favorite book. And
really?
Yeah, I read it. I've read it many times, and I think there's a lot of different lessons there that taught me a lot of things. And it seems like everybody that I've talked to that read it, they got their own little thing of it, because there's so many things in there that you can learn. And honestly, I recommend the book every time anyone asks me about it. The Alchemist.
The Alchemist?
Yeah. The Alchemist.
Okay, good. All right. So where can everybody reach you, Vince, if they wanted to get in touch with you, Freedom Automations? Where can they reach you to learn more about what you guys do?
So they can go to Freedom Automations with an S.com, or they can send a message to 803-471-4040, which is our corporate number. When you send a message there, everybody sees it, right? Or they can go to www.freedomautomations.com/one-on-one or /call. We have different calendars. So, any of those work.
Nice. Vincent, thank you so much for coming here, man, and educating my customer base. Anybody that's watching this, wherever you guys are in the internet world, thank you so much for coming on, educating us a little bit about automations, why it's so important, right? Even if you're just starting, okay? And even if you're experienced, I really appreciate that. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.